My name is Tora. I am 32. 2 weeks ago, my half-sister Megan accidentally added me to a family group chat. The name of the chat was Real Family Only. It had been active for 7 years, 847 messages. At first, I thought it would be normal family stuff, plans, photos, gossip. But the moment I scrolled up, my stomach dropped. The very first messages weren't about holidays or birthdays. They were about me. They called me the charity case. They shortened it to CC. They joked about me like I was a punchline they'd been sharing for years. I kept reading. And reading when I lost my nursing job at 26 budget cuts. Not performance they celebrated. When I started dating my husband, they started a betting pool on how long it would last when I got engaged. They literally created a divorce pool. And when my marriage finally collapsed after my husband cheated, they didn't comfort me. They didn't check on me. They didn't even pretend to care. They collected money like it was a game they'd won. The worst line of all came from my own mother. At least she doesn't have kids. One less grandchild to worry about. I sat in the dark with my phone glowing in my hands, feeling something inside me snap open. Not just heartbreak - clarity. So I did the only thing that made sense. I saved everything. Screenshot after screenshot. Every insult. Every laughing reaction. Every bet. I didn't miss a single message. Then, at 4:19 a.m., I sent one text to the group. Thanks for the receipts. And I left the chat. My phone exploded. Megan called over and over. My mom called. My aunt called. Texts poured in excuses, guilt trips, panic. It was private. Everybody vents. You're too sensitive. Don't make this bigger than it is. 7 years of cruelty. And I was the problem for reading it. I turned my phone off. 4 days later was my grandmother. Eleanor's 70th birthday party, a big backyard event with friends. Neighbors, family, even a photographer. Grandma had called me personally and invited me, which already felt unusual. In my family, most things were organized without me, but Grandma had always been different. For 10 years, I'd been the one driving her to cardiology appointments, cleaning her house on Sundays, sitting with her when she couldn't sleep, picking up medications on my way home from work. I was an ICU nurse. I knew how to show up when people were scared. Megan, on the other hand, showed up for photo ops. She'd take selfies, post captions like family is everything, and disappear again. The day of the party, I came prepared. Cocktail dress, calm face, steady spine. The moment I walked in, I could feel it. My mother's smile went tight. Megan's eyes narrowed. They had hoped I wouldn't show. For 2 hours, they treated me like I was barely their in group photos. I was placed in the back. When appetizers came around, servers somehow missed me. When guests asked who I was, Megan chirped, "Oh, just a cousin." Then Megan grabbed the microphone to make a speech. It was a performance perfect voice. Fake tears, dramatic pauses. She called herself the granddaughter who'd been by Grandma's side through everything. People applauded. I stood off to the side. Invisible, thinking, you have no idea who was really there. And then finally, Grandma stood up. She tapped her glass. And the yard went quiet. She didn't smile like she usually did. She said, "I want to talk about what family really means. And about the person who has truly been there for me these past 10 years. Her eyes found mine. "Turai," she said. "Come here, sweetheart." I stepped forward. Heart pounding. Grandma reached into her cardigan pocket and pulled out a small, worn notebook, one I'd seen 100 times on her nightstand. "I've been keeping records," she said. "Everything." Who didn't? And she started reading. Dates, details, proof. Ture drove me to my appointment. Ture cleaned my house. I felt Ture arrived in 20 minutes. Ture's divorce was finalized. I called her every day. Her own mother didn't call once. The silence was terrifying. Then Grandma said there was something else. She nodded toward Uncle Robert, Aunt Linda's husband, who stood up and admitted he'd seen the Real Family Only. Chat months ago and had shown Grandma the screenshots. Grandma looked straight at my mother, Megan, and Aunt Linda and said, "I've read every message." My mother started crying. Megan tried to speak. Grandma didn't let her. Then Grandma pulled out a folded document. My will was updated 3 months ago. She said, and in front of everyone, she announced that her house would go to me because I'd been the one caring for it, and for her. For a decade, my family's faces collapsed like masks falling off. And when Grandma asked if I wanted to say anything, I kept it simple. "I'm not going to scream," I said. "I'm not going to insult you. I'm just done." I looked at them and told the truth. "You decided 7 years ago I wasn't real family. I'm simply accepting the boundary you already set." Then I took Grandma's hand again, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was begging to belong. I felt free. If you want, I can also write.